All right, welcome back, everybody. Great to see you on this Thursday afternoon. We are tracking Tropical Storm Erin, and I'm looking at the video right here, that imagery, and it looks pretty good on one side. You see the banding feature starting to take shape. It looks a little ragged on the west side, too. It does have some easterly shear that it's dealing with, but Erin is currently barreling over to the west, and it's set to rapidly intensify as a possibility. Right now, it's a tropical storm, but it could be a major hurricane by this weekend. Joining me today is Mike Boylan. He's a storm chaser and blogger behind Mike's Weather page. Mike, always great to see you, my friend. Listen, we knew we were going to have something to talk about. We were talking about it last week, and here we are. We're talking about Erin and the possibility maybe some rapid intensification going on. Yeah,
it's been an interesting one to watch. Exhausting to watch. That's the feeling I get from a lot of my followers. Is these long track African storms, man, they just. It becomes like a soap opera.
Yeah, they hold together for 2 weeks. You're like, okay, we've been watching Erin now forever.
Yeah, but you're right. It's been interesting to me because it's always had like a water vapor trail to the north, and the humidity levels never fell down like we saw with these past systems. So it's been kind of interesting to watch fight its way through all that Saharan air layer. I'm really kind of surprised that it kept it, convection. But you're right. It's getting into those warm waters. Everything's going to be stacking up perfect for this thing to really, blow up, basically.
Yeah, I think that the atmosphere in front of it, when you talk about the water, you talk about the air, you talk even to the jet stream, it's almost pristine at this point, which is unfortunate because we were looking at the water temperatures in the mid-80s by latter part of the week into the weekend, Mike, and we're talking 87-degree buoy readings, which is well above that 80-degree threshold, plus not a lot of shear. And you're right, the Saharan dust, rapid intensification.
It made it through it.
Yeah, I think. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think rapid intensification is a good bet over the next 24 to 48?
Oh, definitely. And I think the size of this is going to surprise everybody. Once it slows down and starts reacting to that little bit of turn, I think it's really going to grow in size. And I mean, I would expect, even if it splits the gap between Bermuda and the U.S., we're going to see a lot of waves. I mean, this thing's going to be huge. I was looking 60, 70-foot wave predictions possibly. These storms that expand bring coastal action. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, and watching this whole thing play out with, last week I was worried about Daytona because of some of their initial models had this thing going all the way to the Gulf, if you remember, right? Yep. And here we are with a little bit of, curve because of that front coming down from Canada. It's just weird how it all plays out.
It is. That's why you can't hang your hat on anything that the GFS or the European deterministic models have 10 days out, right? Because it's going to change. It's going to change about 15 times.
Yes. And, I shared a graphic comparing Irma, not to this storm, but comparing how things can change. And I remember tracking Irma, and most of the models had originally curving, and we had a high pressure built in, remember, and it obviously went to the west. So, you never turn your back on these things. And every day closer, I tell everybody it's a little more confidence. Then, like you mentioned before, that Invest 98, I'm watching it. Those are the sneaky ones. That Bay of Campeche there, it's spun up storms in the past, so we got two things cooking.
You're right. Luckily about that, it doesn't have a lot of real estate to work with. I mean, it's going to be inland by Friday afternoon, so it has less than 36 hours. But getting back to the waves, you talked about it. 60-foot waves are a possibility. We're talking about right there in the Atlantic. But then let's talk about your home state in Florida. They're definitely going to get a taste of this action coming in over the weekend into the early part of next week, right?
Oh yeah. They're already surfs up over there. They're used to these, passing strong hurricanes, and and the tension is so strong, and I'm trying to ride the wave, of how much, you hype, underhype. You get so words are so important on this that people are seeing this thing almost going a little bit due south right now, and they don't see how it can turn, and I remember Dorian, the whole world was on the edge of their seats, right? And so until this thing passes, everybody's going to be glued to the TV and the internet for sure.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, we know it's going to take that hook up to the right, but we don't know exactly when that's going to happen. And if it's longer in the period, it's going to get closer to the U.S. mainland. But either way, Florida, you're going to get something. You're going to get some big waves out of this. And unfortunately, we've seen the rip current deaths already this summer. I'm thinking that's going to be a possibility. The rips are going to be ripping big time. You're talking Sunday through essentially Wednesday of this coming week. You have plans to go out there to the East Coast and check it out?
Oh yeah, we're going to Daytona, so
Okay.
it's I'll be very close. We're going to be at the Speedway Mondays, so I might be Ubering over to the beach walk over there and film some of the waves. I'll send you.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, next time I talk, it'll be next week, right? Hopefully, either
We'll be.
Wednesday.
I'll be at the Speedway. We'll do live from the track,
Oh,
man.
dude, that's going to be great. First of all, I love the NASCAR stuff, man. It's the greatest. Then you add to
Yeah.
it a hurricane in Florida. Man, that's the trifecta right there, right? You got it
Yeah,
down.
we might be tracking something next week. I mean, there's signs that this next wave might be a little more lower.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And it all depends on that high pressure. When is it going to let up and take a nice little divot whirl, aim for it? Maybe it'll be a Gulf type of situation. That's to be, I mean, that wave isn't even off the coast yet, so we got a long time to watch that
Right.
one, Mike. But this one right here is going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to talk to you again about it next week. I can't wait to see you live stuff out there across the east coast of Florida, man. Mike, great stuff.
Yeah,
as
it ought to
always.
be it's probably going to be right off the coast.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It will. And then I'm going to try to take the show live on Wednesday or Thursday next week at the Jersey Shore. So we'll see what it looks like wave-wise up there. We'll be chasing this thing.
We'll be showing the Atlantic from different angles.
I love it, man. Mike, it's always great to talk to you, my friend. Same time next
All right.
week, but Wednesday instead of Thursday. What do you think?
Wednesday.
All right,
Awesome.
good.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you.